Okay guys, welcome to the review of the TECNO Camon 19, this phone over here, which I've been using for the past sort of 2 weeks in and out, because I also have the Camon 19 Pro if you've watched the review, the unboxing rather, of the two devices. So first we will talk about the Camon 19 in this full review, then in the coming week we'll talk about the Camon 19 Pro. I've loved my use with the phone. I think I've mentioned this in most of my reviews. If you read the articles on the website, I think I've mentioned that at this sort of time or in this sort of period, most devices are almost similar. So if you get good amount of storage, good amount of RAM, and a pretty good processor, your experience will almost be the same at the mid-range sort of price point. So in terms of use, I've enjoyed my experience. I sort of really like the design. I know some people have talked about the design being sort of weird and different, but I sort of like it. I like that it's rectangular. Getting it to stand on its own, it's not very easy, but it can, as you saw in the unboxing, or as you can see when you hold it with something, but it can stand on its own. I love the rectangular finish. I love the sort of smooth edges that are very boxy and rectangular, and I love the camera bump. I know some people might think that it looks sort of weird, but in person I think it looks really good. The top camera at the top, the main camera, and then the two extra lenses with the second camera cutout. Okay, so I like the finish. TECNO says there is a sort of nice starry finish at the back. I don't know if I can call it that, but I like that it is not sort of very fingerprinty, so when you touch it, you don't leave fingerprints on it. That's really good. I like that it's smooth to the touch in a very nice way. Others are sort of glossy and shiny, but this one is just nice. I like the way it plays with light in the background. It's not a design that I feel you'll want to put a case on, though there's an included case. I like the placements of the fingerprint scanner on the side. That's really good for me. I would have wanted the volume rockers to be on this side so that to just feel much better. I also like the reduced bezels. Comparing it to other devices, as we'll talk in this video, you'll see that the bezels of this device are quite reduced and nice. The experience with the camera, I will tell you, is sort of the mid-range expectations that you'll get, you will expect with devices at this price point. What TECNO has done is just worked on the color science in a way that it's brighter, sharper, as you'll see in the photos I'll be sharing in this video. So that's something to take note of. The phone also supports 18-watt fast charging, which I will say is slow because I've used faster chargers, but at this price point is very acceptable. Okay, so if you haven't watched my unboxing, you probably don't know the specifications of the device. So it has a 64 megapixel rear camera, a 16 megapixel front camera. It is powered by the MediaTek Helio G85 processor. You get 5000 milliamp battery with 18-watt fast charging, as we've already mentioned. It supports 4G networks. The display is 6-inch IPS display, but it's not a high refresh rate display, though it feels very smooth on the hand. It comes with iOS 8.6 based on Android 12, and there's a USB-C port at the bottom, a headphone jack, a speaker at the bottom, an earpiece at the top, and yeah. So those are the specifications of the device. But TECNO highlights certain features of the device that are really nice at this price point. So if you watch the unboxing, you'll notice that the device looks exactly the same like the Pro model, which is good. So you're getting a Pro design at a nice price with a rectangular sort of finish, the taller aspect ratio that makes the device look really nice. The twin camera design, which I've already talked about, looks really premium and really different from other devices in the market right now. Actually, TECNO mentions that they won the IF and Muse awards for this design, so that's something to consider. For the device, you'll be getting up to 25 months warranty, so 24 plus 1 month extra warranty, which I believe is one of the first devices. I'm not sure. I think some other companies have also decided to increase warranty for that. You'll also get 90 days warranty for the screen repair. And TECNO is also promising Android 13 to be available on these devices by next year, mid next year. Okay, so the phone is available in the Kenyan market for 23,500 shillings. That's the recommended retail price. At this price point, there are a couple of devices that you would want to consider. For example, you have the Galaxy A23 and you have the OPPO A57. So I have both devices, and in this video I'm going to compare each, some of the aspects, some of the looks, and you can tell me in the comment sections what you believe you will get for 23,500 or thereabout. The Galaxy A23 has a 6.58 inch display. It also supports 90 Hz refresh rate, which is better than, I believe, the rest of the devices in the lineup. It's powered by the Snapdragon 680 processor, which is the same processor on higher end devices, so that's a good sort of a plus for it. It has a 50 megapixel main camera, a 5 megapixel and a 2 megapixel extra lens. For the OPPO A57, it has a 6.56 inch display. It's also 60 Hz display, and it's powered by a slower processor. This one is powered by the Helio G35 processor, which is slower than both devices on the desk. It has a 5000 milliamp battery. It supports 33 watt fast charging, which is faster than both devices on the desk. It has 4 gigs of RAM too, and 64 gigs of internal storage. What I want to really you to take note of from just the specifications and how the devices look is the fact that the Camon 19 has reduced smaller bezels and a cutout camera, while both the Galaxy A23 and the OPPO A57 have slightly thicker bezels and a water drop sort of notch. So depending on your preference, that's something to consider. Personally, I believe cutout cameras are really good, but I'm sort of torn in between the fact that the Galaxy A23 has a higher refresh rate display. I believe the higher refresh rate is better, an important part of my life and an important way to experience the new displays that come with devices nowadays. Okay, so in terms of the back material, I find the Camon 19 finish to be better, followed by the OPPO A57, then the Galaxy A23. The Galaxy A23 is just flat and bare and plasticky, and I feel like that's not as premium as the Camon 19's finish and the OPPO A97's finish. Okay, so to the important numbers in terms of the cameras. So the TECNO Camon 19 has a 64 megapixel main camera plus a 16 megapixel selfie camera. Take note of that. The Galaxy A23 has a 50 megapixel main camera plus an 8 megapixel selfie camera. Also, the OPPO A57 has a 13 megapixel main camera plus an 8 megapixel front camera. But the numbers are not important if you can't see the shots. So let's look at the shots from each device, and you can tell me which one you prefer. Okay, so I'm looking at all the 3 shots I took with each phone at the same time, and I'm looking at the TECNO Camon 19's photos, and I can feel there's a little bit of more saturation compared to all the other devices here. So in terms of saturation, the Camon 19 has more saturation than the Galaxy A23, than the OPPO A57. In terms of accuracy, I can tell that the Samsung and the TECNO are a little bit highly saturated, but the accuracy of what I was seeing is almost at par with both devices, though the TECNO Camon 19 feels a little more saturated. If I were to ask a couple of people which device they will pick to post, which photo they will pick in terms of a blind test to post, I feel like most people will be geared to picking the higher saturated and brighter images. For the OPPO A57, I feel like it loses a lot of contrast in terms of the sky and the dynamic range between the very bright areas and the lowly lit areas. I don't know what about you. Tell me in the comment sections. looked at the TECNO Camon 19 in detail. During the unboxing, I already mentioned my gripes with TECNO software, so I'm wishing TECNO does something on that so that I can find a better UI with less elements that are not necessary for me. But in terms of my use over the previous 2 weeks, I think it's a good device for its price point. I think the cameras are really good. Like they're sort of mid-range, not like exceptionally perfect, I would say, but really good for the price point. I will ask you to tell me what you prefer in terms of the shots that I've shown you in this review between it and the other devices. Also tell me in terms of value proposition, which device do you prefer? Do you like the Camon 19 over the two devices I've compared it with in this review? Or what are your thoughts on the general outlook, the general performance in terms of cameras, and your thoughts on what device you would rather between the three devices or any other device at this price point, because these are similarly priced devices. Also, let me know what is something that you would wish was worked on this device based on this review. If there's something you feel I haven't captured in the review, you can also share with me in the comment section down below. And remember to subscribe.